Okay, we have quite a bit going on here. We have quite the chore here. So this is the case right here. I think I need access to the bottom of it and the top here. So, I mean, if we pull open this door, you can see, is this going to clear the camera? Nope, it's not. Almost cleared the camera. So we do have some mounting points. I need to make sure that the screws in here are going to align with the motherboard. And let's see if I can do that on camera. Okay, we're going to open this up. Just going to hit that cardboard right there. Should be fine. If I lay it down this way, that glass door is going to hit that motherboard. I need to move that motherboard. All right, so now this is just rigging the case so the camera can see it. All right, let's position the case. All right, can we see what's going on? You can almost see what's going on. Okay, this is the case. There's still plastic on this thing too, on the outside and on the inside. So we're not going to worry about that right now. I'll peel that off later. Okay, so this is just a big glass door that opens up. And am I going to hit my mic? I am. So let's move this down like that. All right. Now we have access to the innards. Okay. So right now this plate is for horizontal mounting of my GPU. Is that what I want? I need to decide like right now. This is where it gives me options to mount different things different ways. So let's make sure that these line up with my motherboard. We have some wiring solutions here. My PSU should go in here. On the other side, on the other side here. Let me look on that here. Yeah, my PSU goes under here. So, can you see my hand? Yeah, anyway, it's just right under this portion. And let me test fit the motherboard and see if these are going to align. Before I do that, I think I have something came, oh here, it came with a big pack of cables and stuff. I don't know where those are. Give me a second, let me look around. See if I can find these. Cables that it came with. All right, here they are. This little box right here. Okay, let's see what we have in here. Okay, we have, so this is a 3-pin connector. This looks like something for the fans. Not really sure. A bunch of zip ties. Here's a whole bunch of screws. These are some thumb screws, some Phillips screws for mounting. We have some Velcro ties for cable management. This all came with the Thermaltake. Cool. All right. Real quick, I want to see what some of these screws look like here. See, this is content that you just don't get everywhere. It's like, let's figure things out. Okay, we have some insulating rubber. I like this. That looks good. Are these individual? Yeah, they're individual. So are they supposed to go here? 1, 2, for shock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have 8 of these. 9 mounting points and 8 of the, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure that's what those are for. Okay, so we have zip ties left in here, and I pulled out the screws. I want to see what's going on here. What are these for? Fans? These look like fan mounting screws to me. And then we have thumb screws. I don't want to use thumb screws for the motherboard. Usually we're looking more for like these smaller screws like this. And they should fit right into here. But do they? Is that the wrong thread? Do they have another screw here? What do they have? A whole bunch of these. The joys of building a new computer. Okay, do they have a finer thread one? Oh, here we go. They have some really, oh, okay, I see. They have some really fine threaded ones here. Let's see if those fit. I suspect this is the answer. Is that the answer? The threads are clearly different here. Let's see, we don't force anything here. Yeah, okay, this is, that one was spun down. That one was fine. But if you look here, can you see the difference? They included both. Why? No idea. Let me make sure that we have the right one. I'm not going to use a screwdriver until I'm certain this is the right screw. Yeah, see, that one's not spinning down. What is going on here? Yeah, those don't fit. This one, I'm looking at the threads, and this one I can see a good glare. And it looks like it matches with the threads on this. Yeah, see? It's weird. You're weird. Thanks for the clarity. See, it goes halfway down and then it stops. Yeah, this one is way too small though. Because when I put it in this one, okay, wait, are they different threads? Because it seems like this one, that one fit. But in these, this one fits. See, I don't know anymore. Why would you have different threads? Why would you do this? Everybody's yelling into their computer screen right now. That's not for the motherboard. Well, then where are the screws that are for the motherboard? Look how fine that thread is and look how coarse that is. Well, I'm going to have a look at documentation and see if they can set me straight here. We have the View 51TG ARGB. Okay, lovely. Oh, look at all the liquid cooling. Look how they plumbed that. Accessories. All right, let's see if they give me some indication here. Okay, so these are the standoff. All right, so it's 6 by 32. That's the thread we're looking for. So we're looking for a 6 by 32 head, 6 by 32 by 6 millimeter for power. Oh, okay, for the power supply. Motherboard. So there's 24 of these, and these are the coarser thread ones. And these fine ones are for the HDD, SDD. So that will be mounting the hard drives into slots somewhere. I imagine it's up here. These are the hard drive cages. Yeah, those look like hard drive cages. All right. So we've established that we have 24 motherboard or 3.5 HDD screws. Okay, so what is the coarser ones? Okay, so we have some thumb screws, we have a nut setter. Do you have a nut setter? I have a nut setter. I have one of them. Motherboard standoff. That's interesting, huh? Anyway, then we have these as backup. We have some rubber for the fans. Oh, okay, so these are rubber. Okay, so I did count correctly. There's 9 mounting points for the motherboard, but we don't mount the motherboard on rubber. We use that for the fans. Makes sense. Cable ties, Velcro cable tip, buzzer. We can put a buzzer in here. Lucky us. MB signal bridge cable. Fun. You know what? This is way more exciting. Like, have you guys taken electrical engineering? I took electrical engineering when I was a computer science major, and we designed our own 16-bit, yeah, that's right, Super Nintendo quality, 16-bit computer, and that was a thrill a minute, let me tell you. If I say thrill a minute, it's about a thrill a month. That's how exciting that was. All right, so we know that all these screws, I've identified the correct screws. Now let's see if how my motherboard sits here. I wonder if I need to remove this. Let's pull the motherboard over here and very gently, very gingerly, see how it lines up. All right, so I can clearly see where my I/O ports belong. It's back here. There's a cable interfering, so let me move this cable out of the way. And then we're going to see how this sits under this fan with that cable still in the way. All right, I need some cable solutions. I'll be right back. All right, so it's probably hard to see on camera, but there's this cable right here that's running from this fan that is blocking my I/O cutout right here. And so we're going to try to negotiate this in a manner. All right, that will work, where I can get my I/O box out here to the exterior. All right, so let's try that again. All right, very gingerly, you need to keep this above the mounting points. And line these up with some screws. Okay. All right, there we go. So I see 1, 2, 3 screws lined up here. These top screws are not quite lined up. I think I need to take the faceplate off of my I/O board right there. Let's see if that faceplate comes off. Now that it's snagged on something. All right, does that faceplate come off? I'm going to have a look at it. I'll be right back. It wasn't obvious that it comes off, so I'm just going to see how it looks on the other side. See you on the other side. We're going to put this down so I know those line up. Let's make sure this is out of the way. That should line up there. Very carefully line up, line up. Okay, I'm seeing lots of good lineup here. Okay, so I'm going to walk around to the other side and have a look at that and see how that looks. It looks pretty good. I can see a little bit of light through there. Let's see how the screws go in. We need the 24. I'm just going to dump them all out here. All right, so these were identified in the manual as the motherboard or 3.5 HDD mounting screws. So let's leave that here so you can see as well. So we're going to use Trusty Rusty. It's always good not to use anything magnetic around computer equipment. You never, ever, ever, ever want anything magnetic around computer equipment. I'm not going to tighten these very tight. I'm just going to let them find their way home happy. So we have 3 on the bottom here, but I'm only going to put 2 in. I spin it backwards until I hear it click. And then very gingerly, I didn't tighten that one. It just kept spinning, but it's still loose. And then up here, let's see how these go in. All right. The question is, how many screws do you need to hold your motherboard in place? There are going to be people out there who say, never enough, all 9. And there are people who are like, 2 screws will do it. All right, this is where it's a little tricky because I can't see up there. Just kind of hope for the best. All right. Okay. So there is a mounting point over here which is obscured by this heatsink. So I'm not going to worry about that screw or this screw, but I'm going to put one here. Do I want to pull this? Should I pull this heatsink off and mount it properly? I'm making a YouTube video. Why not? Why would I not do that? All right, let's pull the heatsink. These screws were captive on this block. So it makes sense that they're going to be captive here, right? Okay, and sure enough, there are some mounting holes, which we might as well use. All right, here we go. Totally not magnetized screw going right down into the bowels of this thing. No idea. It feels pretty catchy to me. It felt good. And feeling is half the battle. You got to get in touch with your feelings before you build a CPU or a computer. Okay. Nice. And let's grab another one of these. We should have 24 of them, right? I mean, there shouldn't be a shortage of them. Okay, so let's make sure we have one. Oh, we're missing one up here on top. This is very therapeutic. Like, this is even more for some people it'll be different, but this is more therapeutic than it was when I was looking on Amazon for computers, because I was very much like, I'm just going to buy a pre-built one. I couldn't find one for the life of me that I liked. Like, there's still some CPU or some computers for sale that have very old processors in them. Okay. All right, so now we're just going to very gingerly cinch these down. I'm not going to crank any of these. All right, just finger tight with a screwdriver. I mean, I have leverage here, so they're relatively tight. Let's go through all of them. You know, if you were doing automotive work, it'd be like, you always go opposite. So you'd tighten this one, and then that one, and then this one, and then that one, and this one, and whatever. Did I just do that one? That one was pretty tight. Okay, lovely. What's always fun is when I do something like this, I cinch everything down, and I realize, oh, but this has to come out again. It always happens to me. Does that ever happen? It seems like inevitably. Especially with like IKEA furniture. Hey, I'm putting the desk together. Inside out. It's like, I didn't know which side was. All right. Okay, lovely. So, motherboard mounted. I actually want to put the power supply in next, so I can figure out some power routing, some cable routing, before we go too far. Because once we put the CPU and that huge heat sink in, it can really obstruct everything. Same with like, yeah, so it will be, so power everything. I want to look at some of these light cables. So down here, there's this huge, I don't know if you can see, but there's this huge like bundle of like cables. It looks like LED controllers and stuff. Here's USB, so for like the front USB ports. Yeah, so all this stuff, that's just down here. So we need to figure out what goes where. Oh, see, here's, this one says HDD LED, right? So we're gonna plug that into the, I thought I saw an HD, I think it was one of these. Yeah, it's this fine print. I'm gonna take a picture of that with probably with my phone and zoom in so I can read that easily and figure out which one this little HD cable goes into. Either way, I need to do all that wiring, which I'll do here on camera. And but let's do PSU next. Can I pull off this glass door? Let me see if I can do that. And then we'll take a little break here and come back. All right, so does this just slide? Oh, look how easily that came off. All right, would have made my life easier. So I'll be back in a sec.